Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws. Out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 in the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, baby. You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. The Joneses and them. Not them, and them. N-E-M, and them. So wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter where you get your app from. Just go there, whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Weebles, Goldblatts. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. If you don't know, you better ask somebody in Sports Zone Chicago. We have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Put us there next to the big boys, Netflix, Hulu, Apple, Prime, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Star. Man, Stars pissed me off. They didn't tell me that they weren't having a new episode of Raising Kanan last week. Got me all fired up for nothing. Sons of biscuits, but I digress. Put us there on the big screen. You can watch it on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right, Mickey? Now. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Whew, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in a thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody skirt over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Man, you are bringing it. Boy, you are broughting it already. You have brought it already. Man, we are jumping in the chat. Let's check this out. Woo, Charlie. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, my man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. checking in early. He's checking in first today. He said, good morning, all. Patty Laura's in the house. What's up, Mom? Thank you for tuning in. Says Happy House Music Monday, everyone. Mr. Shode is in the house. It's top of the morning to you. That's what I'm talking about. Rick Gonzalez is in the house. He's checking in. So good morning, Shawn, into the chat. Seth Brown's doing one of our picks was pure gold. Dude, was that not awesome or what? Was that not awesome? FGB. FGB. What? FGB. Shody says, hey, I have phone-in meetings all day for weeks. Now, I won't be able to talk or listen, but I have you on. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Dude, Shorty, you know I got mad respect for you, all the support you give me, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's see what else. Who else is? Let's see. Levette Lee checking in. She's like, good morning. She's Happy House Music Monday, y'all. Happy House Music Monday, Levette. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Michelle Walls checking in. He's like, what up? On a warm house music. You're damn right. A warm house music Monday at FGB. 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 Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. That I can promise you. Listen, we got a great show. At 10 o'clock, my man Lester Wiltfong Jr., the editor-in-chief, the head honcho over at Windy City Gridiron, is going to join us. We're going to talk, kind of wrap up this Bears draft class. How excited is he? Man. Wow. We're going to go over that with Lester. And I'm going to ask you guys, and I want you to get interactive, man. I'm going to ask you for some stuff, and I just posted in the chat. So it's going to be another phenomenal show with you, with my peoples. And I... Thanks, Junior. He sent me something about people fighting in Wrigley bleachers. There's KY jelly flying all over the place. Electronic toys flying over. I don't even know what's all that about, Junior. I don't even know. Brandon Schutz in the house. What's up, Bubba? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Jeremiah is watching. Good morning, Jeremiah. I hope you're having a good day, mijo. I hope you're having a good day. Man, so I am fired up. I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy over the weekend. I'm not ecstatic. I'm happy. All right, the Bears, Ryan Poles is still boggles my mind a little bit on some of his picks. All right. Brandon asked me how my weekend was. Well, Brandon, my weekend was good. Thank you for asking. Started Thursday. My guy who owns Output opened up a new location in Berwyn. So those people in the Chicagoland area know where Berwyn is. So it's his fourth location. So he's got Output OG, the original one. He's got Output Wrigleyville. He started selling Output out of a ghost kitchen in Las Vegas, which I thought was pretty damn dope. And then now he has Output Berwyn. So he had a friends and family night on Thursday, so I was there. Remember, I told you about it on Friday. Then Friday, I went to go see Cat Williams. That was good. My buddy came in from Michigan. That's his favorite comedian. So whenever he's in town here, or if he's out in Michigan, I'll take a ride out there, and me and him he'll go. The wife he gives him permission to go out. She gives my man Keith, we call him Weddle. She gives Weddle the permission to go out. Anytime Cat Williams is in town here in Chicago or in Michigan somewhere. So he came in for the first Friday night. Stopped at Output OG, the Output on Grand, had wings, had some food before the show, went and caught the show. Saturday was chill. Then yesterday was I stopped at both outputs, Berwyn and Grand. I needed some steak and eggs, so it was good yesterday. The weekend was good, Brandon. I appreciate you asking. Thank you, sir. Thank you. But yeah, each Ryan Poles. I am concerned about if you're talking about Ozzy, right? The 4th round pick, Ozzy. Or you're talking about is it Ozzy that we're talking about here? Or is it no. No, Ozzy was a 2nd round pick. Oh, the linebacker. Yeah, Ruben Hippolyte. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Rick, you're a fool. Hippolyte, the Gatorade drink. Oh, man. Junior talked about Falcons DC son, part of the crew that prank calls Sanders. What an idiot to do that to your father. Yeah, well, apparently there's no actions are going to be taken against the kid or his father. You know, that's some bullshit. I'm glad you mentioned that, Junior. That's some bullshit. You know, there needs to be some repercussions. You don't do that, dude. You don't do that. All right? And I don't care how you I mean, you're dealing with a life-changing event for most people. It doesn't matter that Shador is rich because his dad's Dion. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. There should be consequences. All right, your son got a hold of this. Well, guess what? You're going to have to pay for the actions of your son. All right, you're going to be suspended 2 weeks with no pay. Something. Okay? Because your son has to understand the consequences. You know, I know he called Shador after. He had his number, obviously. But also posted a thing on Instagram. Nah, dude, don't give me that shit. And the apology was so bullshit. It was bullshit. And did I save it? Why did I do that? Son of a biscuit. I thought I saved it. And Shador forgave him. You know, because Shador's like, first of all, I got more money than you. And secondly, I'm in the NFL and you're not, nor will you ever be. But, I mean, he did the politically correct thing. Because he could have just said, you know what, you're a jagbag and you know, you're a jerk. You know, it's obviously you hate me and my family, and you thought it was cool or cute to mess with us on one of the best moments of my life, and you felt it was okay. So, the hell with your apology. You can go fuck yourself, and karma's going to get you. That would have been perfect. That's what he should have said. I feel like I would have said. You know, then again, whatever. Brandon, do not get me started, sir. Do not. That game last night. Woosa. Woosa. Oh my goodness. My goodness. You know, I like the draft pick, the drafts. I'm excited about it. There's still, again, some head scratchers. Like Hippolyte the Gatorade drink. Yes. why you got drafted the kid out of BC. And remember, Barrelissimo called it. He said, he says, don't be surprised if they take this kid out of BC. Remember that? He posted that on Friday's show. I just think there's too much personal stuff going on in some of these that draft pick. He played with his father, okay, at Boston College. Because my thought is, why wouldn't you take Ariante Ursary, Big Ten Lineman of the Year? Big Ten Lineman of the Year. And here's the thing. He's a right tackle. He's played left tackle. But the majority was the right tackle. So now what do we do? You move him back to left tackle? Does he make it? Is he as good a left tackle? I'm talking about Ozzie as he is a right tackle? Or are you moving Darnell Wright, who's a pretty damn good right tackle? Well, you could have just drafted Ariante Ursary, put him at the left tackle, and left him there. That was a Poles pick to me. The first two picks, those were Ben Johnson. All right, you could have drafted a running back. I agree, Shawn, in the 4th round. But I like what I saw. I like what I saw with Kyle Monangai. They got a guy, Monangai. If you watch his tape, this dude reminds me, he runs a lot like Isaiah Pacheco. You guys remember Isaiah Pacheco? Do you know Isaiah Pacheco, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs from Rutgers? Well, guess what? Another Rutgers running back who runs physical, violent. And the thing I love about Kyle Monangai, he is not, I shouldn't even say he's not afraid. This Mother Hubbard is a beast in pass pro. He is a beast in pass pro. Steve-O, did I send you that? I don't know if I sent you that clip of him in pass pro. But my goodness. Damn. This dude, let me tell you something. In pass pro, holy cow. Holy cow. I was very, very, very impressed about this young man, watching this young man in pass pro. That was something to behold. His lateral movement, his ability to bounce in and out quick, fast, in a hurry. Yeah, I like that a lot. But his pass pro, woo-wee, Charlie. See, my only issue is that he's 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". We got a 5'8", 5'9" running back in DeAndre Swift. I wish he was a little taller. And I think he ran a 4.4. No, it was slow. It was a 4.6, I want to say. But he very rarely gets caught, and he runs hard. He runs hard. I like it. I really, really like this cat. I wish I could have seen. And a lot of people talk about this tight end. A lot of people were like, oh, we got the second best tight end in the draft, blah, 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 blah. Why do we do that? Why do we do? Like, listen. My question to you is this. How do you know? How do you know how good this guy can be? Was it after, how much film have you watched? How much film have you watched about tight ends? And my question is, how are you going to, I said this Friday, I believe, how are you going to get mad at Ben Johnson, the man who's making dinner, for picking his own groceries? He had the opportunity to get either one of those tight ends, and he chose the one that best fit his system. Best fit his system. So why would you get upset if this is the guy that he feels is the best fit for him? So I don't get it. I'll tell you why. Because there's a narrative that's being fed by people, and everybody goes with what the narrative is. And then when it goes against you, he's the second best tight end. I don't know why they got him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what, understand. Ben Johnson said he's going to rebuild this offense around Caleb. Don't you think he knows exactly what pieces he wants? I think he does. So, yeah. It's interesting to see how so many people are fed a narrative, run with the narrative, have no understanding, but sit there and chime off. Like I said, Manungai, I like him. I wish he was taller. But if he gives us any type of the production that Pacheco gave the Chiefs, who was also a 7th round pick. Oh, actually, 6th or 7th round pick, Isaiah Pacheco. If he gives us any type of production like that, Charlie, this was a steal. There are people all on social media, people over in Jersey, and people who were fans of Rutgers followers are saying, you guys got a beast. You guys got a beast. When was Caleb Johnson taken? I know he was taken by the Steelers. I don't remember what round that was. What round here? Every pick from every round. Here we go. Was it round 3? Let me see. Yeah, round 3. Round 3, he was picked the 83rd pick overall. What was our pick? We didn't have a pick, did we? Again, I would have loved Caleb Johnson. Would have loved it. Round 4, he wasn't there, obviously. The Bears had the 132nd pick with Ruben Hippolyte. Round 2, interesting. He had 3 second-rounders. Got Luther Burden, okay. Ozzie Trapillo, that's the one that kind of like, Shamar Turner. Shamar Turner is a guy that I like. And I'll tell you why. That's right. We trade our third to get back in a second. He has a streak in him that I really like. That's really, really nasty. If you saw, he got kicked out of a game because he punched some dude in the nuts. dude's getting the best of him. So first of all, don't let the dude get the best of you. But secondly, his motor is one. He's very violent and has a motor. He's violent and has a motor. This is what we need. And guess who else? Guess what Grady Jarrett is? Violent and has a motor. We got this guy from Texas A&M who's going to be mentored by Grady Jarrett. Being in the same room with him, go to work on a daily basis, handling his business is going to be phenomenal for Shamar Turner. Going to be phenomenal for this young man. King Booker World checking in. Says salute, Shawn and everybody. Marshawn Wall, that Turner dude does have a mean streak. Yes, he does. A pit bull and a Rottweiler at DT. Yes, yes, yes. Now, he's going to have to corral that. He's going to have to make sure that it's controlled. You can't just go hitting people in the nuts. But I'd rather have to reel somebody back as opposed to try and get them amped up. Give me someone that I have to tell to calm down a little bit. I can work with that because I don't have to worry about him getting his engine started at all. I don't have to worry about him chasing. And I'll tell you another thing. Austin Booker, I hope, has another or takes a step forward. The one thing, if you remember from about Austin Booker, he didn't have a lot of sacks last year, but I'll tell you what, he was right there. Austin Booker has a big motor. He would chase plays down from behind, and he might not make the tackle, but God bless it, he was right there right after the tackle was made. So now the big step up for him is now he's got to make those tackles. Austin Booker, and he's working out with Grady Jarrett down in Florida. He'll be working, and Gervon Dexter, and I'm sure that Shamar Turner is going to be working out with him as well. We've got a lot of nice, young, talented defensive linemen. I'm happy about this. Very happy. But you get Shamar Turner, this guy who's got an attitude and anger issues with a motor, getting tutored by Grady Jarrett. Oh, yeah. Like Coach Ben Johnson said, now we're cooking with hot grease. Now we're cooking with hot grease. Well, listen, here's what we got to do. We got to take a quick break, because on the other side of the break, we definitely are going to get to the top of the morning topics, all right? But I got to get the warden off to CrossFit. So keep it locked right here, folks, and don't forget, at the top of the hour, Lester Wiltfong Jr. is going to join us as well to kind of go over this. We got top of the morning topics. We got to talk a little baseball. We'll talk a little basketball, the NBA playoffs. So don't go anywhere, guys. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Move it!
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit.
With a 1-1 count here to Palacio. Sends it a long way down to left field. Backing up is Soderstrom. Still going back. And it is gone! Joshua Palacio starts it off with a bang. First home run of the season for Palacios as he smiles through the rain, and the White Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Brushes it. This had no shot of staying in the yard. It goes on top of the Sutter Health sign.
On the ground, this could be 2. Sosa goes to second for 1. Baldwin's throw is in time for the double play. 2-1 into right field, and that's going to bring in the go-ahead run. Amaya scores from third. An RBI single for Luis Robert Jr. And the White Sox take a 2-1 lead here in the 10th.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those tips courtesy of Chicago Sports Network. Those were the good guys on the south side losing. You saw Luis Robert going opposite field. I'll tell you what, if Luis Robert stays up the middle to opposite field, this kid's going to be unstoppable. He's got to be able to cover the plate. He's got to be able to handle inside pitches. And I'll tell you what, it was good to see him coming up with a duck in the pond in the 10th inning and getting him in. All right, what are we talking about? Get him out, get him over, get him in. Too bad our bullpen, again, the walks killed us. The walks freaking killed us. And you give up a 2-run shot. a 2-run walk-off shot in the bottom of the 10th. We had a chance to add an extra run, but we didn't. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Oh, man. Oh, goodness. But anyway, guys, let's get it cracking, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It was called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Here we go, baby. The first top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Here it is. Man, the good guys. Oh, we did get a steal flyer for that one. The Sox and the Cubs. Did I not? Or did I miss it? Did I miss that? Anyway. The White Sox, baby. The White Sox fall 3-2 in 10 innings. Wow. Unbelievable. Had it, just couldn't get it done. That was frustrating. All right, Eisner got the start. He only went 1 inning, but then Davis Martin came in, went 6. Eisner got the start. He's no decision. He pitched the first inning, only 2 hits, 1 earned run. Palacios, you saw he was 2 for 4, hit his first home run of the season, driving in his 3rd RBI of the season. Lou Bob, he was 1 for 4 with that Oppo hit in the 10th inning, driving in his 8th RBI of the season. The White Sox are off today. They host the Brew Crew. They travel right down 94, actually 94, through the Dan Ryan, or through the Kennedy, the interchange, up the Ryan, 35th and Shields, to play the White Sox on Tuesday. First pitch is at 6:40. All right, so keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic. Cubs. The Cubs lose to the Phillies. 3-1 in 10 innings. Jameson Taillon got the start. He got a no decision. 5 hits. 1 earned run. No walks. 2 punch-outs. PCA having one heck of a year. He's 1 for 3. He was 1 for 3 with a double, his 10th, driving in his 19th RBI of the season. Eagle Horner was 1 for 4 with a double, his 4th of the year. Cubs, just like the White Sox, they're off today, but they travel to Pittsburgh on Tuesday for a 3-game set. First pitch is at 5:40 p.m. Central. Next top of the morning topic, the Bears. Only the Bears. Only the Bears. The Bears finished their draft selections on Saturday, and I'll tell you what, I'm fired up about most of them. Again, some of these left me in my head, scratching my head. Okay. But here's what they got. Okay. We know they got Colston Loveland, the tight end. That caused a lot of comments in the first round. Then on Friday, rounds 2 and 3, round number 2. All right, let me get this banner off because you can't see. Luther Burden the third from Missouri. Let me tell you something. People were surprised at this pick. You go back and watch this young man. His ability to stop on a dime, stop and start, and get back and start quickly. This guy's a playmaker. He led the NCAA last year in YAC, which is yards after catch. And if that doesn't excite you, I don't know what does. You get a guy who leads who led the nation in yards after catch, which means he is a great post-reception runner. Give him the ball. He's not going down. He's running. Caleb has another weapon. See, I'm a little concerned. All right, you got enough guys. I'm concerned for Cole Kmet. I'm concerned for DJ Moore. Because I still feel, take this down. I still feel that Caleb is being petty, was very petty last year. He didn't target and force it to DJ, your number one receiver, highest paid Bear. Okay, he went to Rome Odunze, his rookie buddy. So he didn't force it to DJ. He didn't target Cole Kmet, his outlet, his safety valve, his security blanket, either. And I think a lot of it had to do with both of them being well-known or well-stated Justin guys. Call me crazy. I've been called that and worse. But I think he was petty enough about that all season. And I think now they got a new tight end. Now they have other receivers. They got another receiver. I'm curious about how DJ's numbers are going to look this year. Is Caleb going to continue to force it to Rome? Because what if Rome has a breakout year, takes a step forward, and becomes his new number one receiver? What do you do with DJ? DJ's got a big contract. I don't know. I'm really concerned. I love the options. I love the weapons he's got. Don't get me wrong. I do. I love the weapons that he has. So we get this offensive line shored up. He should have time. There was a second. They traded back from 41 to 56. They got Ozzie Trapillo out of Boston College. That's Ryan Poles' alma mater. Played right tackle last year. He has played left tackle. So again, my question is, where do they play him? Do you want to move Darnell Wright to left tackle? You move right to left? Or do you put this guy, start him on there? This guy, Ozzie, has played left tackle. So do you want to get him there in camp and say, okay, you're going to be at left from Jump Street? Get him working there, get his feet right, get his momentum right, get his bearings about him at the left. Like, we're putting you at left, and that's it. You're not going to be right tackle. We'll give it your left tackle, and that's it. Now, if they do that, I'm cool with it. I am cool with it. Because is this guy going to be a better right tackle than Darnell Wright? I don't know. Is this guy a better left tackle than Braxton Jones? I don't know. But I would assume it's an upgrade. I would assume it. So put him there and you fight for that job. Their last second round pick, Shamar Turner. This is a dude I like a lot. This is a dude with anger issues. This is a dude who has a motor that doesn't stop. This is a dude who I cannot wait to get mentored by Grady Jarrett. I really, really like this pick. I got a dog. I got a dog right here. No, Cornelius, if DJ didn't work with Caleb as much as Roman Keaton, they may be the reason why he didn't get as many targets. No, they were all out there together. DJ was out there in California with Caleb. It was well documented. Tons of clips from last year. DJ was out in California working with Caleb. Rick Gonzalez says, I agree with DJ, but Kmet's the most overrated Bear in a long time. I don't think so. Here's why. What happened the year before? DJ Moore had a career year with Justin. Cole Kmet had a career year with Justin. And then when Caleb comes, DJ Moore's number slipped. I can get that. You had Keenan Allen, you had Rome Odunze. Okay, I can see that. But hit your tight end. Even if his production decreased a little bit, I understand. DJ, all right, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, cool, I got it. But to totally stop throwing to your tight end doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. Cole Kmet is he's a top 10 tight end in my opinion. In my humble opinion, he's a top 10 tight end. You just got to use him. Just got to use him. So then they traded the third round to get back into the second round. And in the fourth round, they had Ruben Hippolyte. Third. This guy is a missile. This is probably just a special teams addition. Although they wanted more speed than Sanborn. Which is why they didn't offer him a contract. This guy ran like a 4.4. So he's going to be a special teams guy. And if he gets to see the playing field, great blitzing linebacker. Great blitzing linebacker. Then the fifth, Zoff Frazier, ball hawk. Quarterback out of Texas San Antonio, Roadrunners. Meep. Great pick, a nice pick. I think it's depth, but I also think this guy's a special teams guy. This guy can get up. He can pick him up and put him down. This guy ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. Let me take this down. 4.36 40-yard dash. My man can move. Move. Get out the way. He's 6'2", 7'8", so he's almost 6'3". You got a 6'3" cornerback who runs a 4.36 40-yard dash. Okay? So Tyreek Stevenson, they're bringing in competition for you. Tyreek is I believe he's 6'1". This guy's 6'3", 6'2" and 7/8. 6'3". Like I'm 5'10" and 7/8. Did I just say I'm 5'11"? Just round up. This guy's 6'3", 185, running a 4.36. Definitely a special teams guy. This guy, Luke Newman, guy after my own heart. Holy Cross, former Holy Cross player. To me, it seemed more like just depth piece and just competition. The fact that this guy played in the Big Ten is what makes me excited, gets me excited. You're not getting a project. You're not getting a guy. Let's see if he can play against big boys. Let's see. No. You know he can play against the big boys. He played in the Big Ten. So you bring this type of competition in to shore up that offensive line. I'll do it all day long. And this is the one that I really like. I just wish he was taller. Kyle Monangai. Whew. This young man. To me, this young man really got me fired up. Got me fired up. Watching his tape, His contact balance is second to none. His contact balance is second to none. I think he was one of the second best running back in the Big Ten. I think maybe Caleb's a little better. Or was he the second leading rusher in the Big Ten? And other guys went in front of him. I mean, they get it. The two Ohio State guys split time, so it's going to affect their numbers. This guy was the second leading rusher in the Big Ten. And if you watch him again, he doesn't go down easy. He hits the hole. He's physical. In pass pro, he attacks. Like that made the hair on my arms stand up watching him in pass pro. Not afraid. Not timid. You want to protect Caleb? There you go. There's your guy. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. In addition to running hard, catch the ball out of the backfield, and great in pass pro. If that son of a bitch was 6 feet, 5'11", 6 feet, whoo. But again, you don't have to be, especially in this NFL, you don't have to be a first round, second round, third round, fourth round, fifth round pick to be a good running back. You don't have to be. There's so many good running backs, especially with this revamped offensive line. I'm a little excited. Because if this guy turns out to be a stud, we're singing the praises of Ryan Poles. We are singing the praises of Ryan Poles. Now, my issue with this is we didn't get a safety. My issue with this, we didn't get a safety. You know the situation with the damn situation with Jaquan Brisker. You know it. Where's the safeties? Kevin Winston win the third round out of Penn State. Jonas Sanka went third round, 93rd to the Saints. Xavier Watts, third round, the 96th pick, goes to the Falcons. These are the guys that I wanted. I wanted Xavier Watts. That would have been a nice pick for us. Because where did he go? Nick Imanwari, the top-rated safety, went in the second round, the third pick to the Seahawks. After that, no safeties were taken until the next round. I'm sorry, Andrew Makuba, the last pick in the second round, goes to the Eagles. Then there's a run on safeties in the next round. We had a chance to go get one of these guys, and to me, yeah. Man, King Walker World, can that Joker block? Can that Mother Hubbard block? Yes. Yeah, Rick, Newman's arms look big, look long. I mean, Frazier, look at those long arms. It's down to the middle of his thigh. Got some long arms, long and lanky. Oh, you got some short arms, Mr. Shorty. No pun intended. I'm 6'2", my arms are 32 1/8. How could any 6'3" or tall dude have arms shorter than me? I don't know, Cornelius. So the Bears were victimized this draft because teams knew what they were looking for. I don't think I didn't think teams went in there and say, oh, we're going to block the Bears. I just don't. In my opinion, I just don't. There are plenty of places you could take like I said, you look at the Hippolyte pick. Okay, the Hippolyte pick. That's a head scratcher. You didn't need to take him, but you did. You could have got a running back there in the 4th round. You could have got an offensive line. You could have got a center. Could have got a safety in the 4th round. No, the 3rd round's when they all went. Yeah, the 3rd round's when they all went. So you traded back into the 3rd. You trade your 3rd to get back into the 2nd. Now, imagine this. Instead of Ozzie Trapillo, you take Shamar Moore there. Or Shamar Moore. The actor Shamar Moore. Shamar Turner at 39. Or because this would be 41. Or 56. You could take, but then here is where you take your safety. Or let's see where he went. Because the one guy that I want to see. This is 3rd round. Yeah, this like Ariante Ursary went. Oh, he went to the 2nd round. Ariante Ursary went 2nd round. The 48th pick. So we could have had him at 41. 39 and 41, we could have had him. We don't trade back. And then now we're talking something different. Instead of Ozzie Trapillo at 56, we don't trade back with Ariante Ursary. Oh, like I said, we could have got him there. I would have liked that pick more. He's a solid left tackle. Sometimes we wonder about polls. Like, you were an offensive lineman. You do recall that, right? Like, building the trenches is vital, Mr. Former offensive lineman. Like, that was the second round for Ariante Ursary. You give me first. I want 1st and 2nd round offensive linemen only in my starting 5. I want other guys to develop because let's keep it a buck. Look at the people we signed in the offseason. Drew Dahlman, 4th round pick. They developed him in Atlanta and played. So I don't mind those guys in the 4th and 5th round, but develop them. Drew Dahlman, 4th round pick. Joe Tunney. He's another one. 3rd round pick by the Patriots. So we got 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, and JonahJackson. Let me see. 3rd round pick. So the guys that we gave a lot of money to, two 3rd round picks and a 4th round pick. So you take Ariante Ursary or something in the 2nd, like he should be good. Someone said I think Newman's going to be a center. Actually, I believe that he has played center. Who said that? Let me see. Yeah. Newman will probably become a center, is what you're saying. That's Shorty. Well, I have long arms. I have long arms. You got to get your, you get dress shirts. Because I was asking one guy at the gym today, I'm like, how long are your arms? Because he was saying something about the bench because that looks kind of high. And I'm like, how long are your arms? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what, do you just buy CrossFit shit? I mean, what the hell? You don't buy any dress shirts? You never bought a dress shirt? You got to pick, the size of your neck. I said, the dress shirts, when you buy them, you buy them by the size of your neck and the length of your arms. It was like 17 and a half is the neck size, and then 34, 35, 32, 33 is the length of your arms. He's like, well, I haven't bought a shirt in a long time. I'm like, apparently not if you don't know your freaking shirt size. But I have long arms. I have 34, 35. And I never really knew how long my arms were until about when I was playing. I think it was with the Thunder. I didn't realize how long my arms were, like longer than someone. But I digress. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break because on the other side of the break, I'm excited to bring in my man's. He's the head honcho over there at Windy City Gridiron. We're going to talk a little Bears. We're going to wrap this up with a bow. Okay, because my White Sox suck, so talking about them. And the Cubs, they lost yesterday, so I was happy as a giddy little schoolgirl, so I was good there. Bulls, stupid. They're just stupid. What the hell else we got to talk? We got to talk some just positive stuff, and that's this draft. So my man Lester Wiltfong Jr. is going to join us on the other side. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. My favorite player at receiver in the draft is Luther Burden out of Missouri. I mean, he's just awesome. I mean, it's just like a Deebo Samuel with speed kind of thing. So I think Luther Burden is a guy that is going to take the league by storm. I really do. When I was watching him, I was just going, oh my gosh, there's nothing this guy does that I don't just love. And I think he's one of those, when you talk about Deebo Samuel, he plays like that, but he's faster. When you have a physical presence at the wide receiver position, it just does something to your team.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Man, that was Chris Collinsworth, and I loved his assessment of it. Watching this guy, he's going to be a baller. He's going to be a contributor immediately. I just want to see that Mother Hubbard run. This guy led the country in yak. I want to see this sucker run. He'll stop on a dime, go the other way, have you sliding, reaching. Oh, damn. But like I said, I think I have to give this overall. Well, I'll talk about my grade. I thought about it, and it changed a little bit after. It changed after, upon further review. Well, let's welcome in my guy, man. He is a head honcho over there at Windy City Gridiron. Good friend of the program. All right, you can find him on Twitter at Wiltfong Jr. Wiltfong Jr. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Lester Wiltfong. Lester, what's up, Papa?
I'm doing good, Shawn. How about you?
I am wonderful, my friend. Wonderful. I am happy about this draft. Not ecstatic or over the moon, but I'm happy about it. I think they could have got a safety somewhere. I think they reached for Ozzie. Why did they draft Ariante Ursary? I was calling his name all for the last 2 weeks. Talk to me. What is your grade for this draft?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you can't grade these guys after the thing, but my initial quick reaction, you B-ish, it's somewhere in the B minus, B plus, something like that. I mean, it's a nice draft. A lot of good football players. I mean, that's ultimately what you want to see your team do, is this bring in football players and let your coaching staff figure it out. They traded back a few times, picked up a fourth next year, which is a pretty big deal. That's a nice move there. The board, Ryan Poles let the board come to him, right? I mean, we saw him kind of get sniped a couple times for running back, it seems.
Yeah.
So instead of reaching, which maybe Ryan Poles 3 years ago reaches, maybe he takes his next best back on his board there when Travion Henderson is picked. Maybe he just reaches for a back because, oh my God, we need a back. He's like, no, let's just chill. We'll trade back. We'll trust our board and let things happen. So, I think it was an overall nice draft for Ryan Poles, and let's see how Ben Johnson puts these pieces together.
Yeah. Why didn't when I say grade the draft, like as far as need?
Yeah.
So, because obviously we can't grade a draft until 2-3 years down the line. Yeah. Right. So we see. What was give me your thoughts initially on Colston Loveland? A lot of people had some very strong remarks and strong thoughts, pro and con. Colston Loveland, your thoughts?
I didn't start looking at tight ends until like a little late in the process because I didn't think that would happen so early. But then as the buzz started growing, as I kind of started realizing, oh yeah, that probably makes sense, especially with how much Ben Johnson likes running, 2 tight end sets. I like them both. I like Loveland and I like Warren. Warren is a little bit nastier of a player. Loveland is a little more versatile as far as what he can do, as far as going splitting out wide, playing a joker role. I like Loveland, man. You watch his tape, and it's like he looks like a receiver, but he's 250. Yeah, he's a big dude. I kind of bought into the narrative that he was a bad blocker, and then I kind of watched some more stuff, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I see where he has improvement, but he's coming from a Jim Harbaugh offense, right? Michigan.
You got to be able to block.
You got to be able to block. So his blocking was much better than I thought it was when I kind of had a chance to watch some of the stuff. He's a very willing blocker. And I always say, man, if you're a tight end and you're willing to get in there and stick your nose in there and try it and block, if you're not afraid of the contact, you can be coached up, and I think he'll be fine there. But with that said, I think he will be mostly your move tight end, split out wide, maybe run routes out of the backfield as like an H-back. I think that's kind of something that they'll do. They'll move him all around that offense, and they'll look for mismatches. They'll force a defense to say, look, Do I have to bring a nickel out here because you're going to throw so much with Loveland? Do I play base and really want my Sam covering Loveland? Or no? So what are you going to do as a defense? This gives Ben Johnson a lot of options.
It really does. And my man, Mr. Shorty, Shortino says to remind you, we are RL.
Round Lake Panthers. Look at us.
Shout out to Round Lake and all their alumni. Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, I didn't like it initially. It didn't grab me. And then I thought, wait a minute. If we want Ben Johnson to cook dinner, let him buy the groceries.
Yeah.
And he definitely bought that. That was definitely, those first 2 picks were definitely Ben Johnson picks. And as I watch more tape on him, I'm like, yeah, it does make sense. This guy, and he mentioned Sam Laporta's name in his presser.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw. That's what you see with this guy. This guy gets open. But the one thing that in looking at it, and then I forgot who said it yesterday, I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking. His ability to find soft spots in zone was very, very Kelsey-like. He finds soft spots in the zone. The way he gets out when his release, and then he just finds soft spots. And it's a skill. Like you see a lot of people, a lot of tight ends just running drags, okay, and trying to out athlete people. This dude's football IQ is pretty good. His feel for the soft spot is going to be huge in my opinion for Caleb Williams. And then he's a big target, not easy to bring down. His hands are like vice grips. Remember they asked him at the presser about putting up barbed wire fence. He's like, oh yeah. Because you ever put up a barbed wire fence? And everyone's like, no, not really. You guys.
I mean, like I said, he has all the tangible, the traits you want out of a tight end. You know, I think him and Warren both, the kid from Penn State, they're very good at finding those soft spots in his zone. You know, and the comp I heard of that, like you said, that skill, that's a Travis Kelce skill. I mean, that kind of comes over from like what they do in their offense. It's kind of like the Pat Mahomes stuff that he did when he was in college. Just go find some open grass and they'll get you the ball. And I think with Loveland, he kind of has that ability. And I think it's going to be fun watching how he kind of meshes with Cole Kmet. And look, I saw some fans saying, oh, no, Cole Kmet's going to be good. No, Cole Kmet plays a different position. You know, He is the Y. He's the inline guy. Loveland's your move guy. You know, I talked to some other guy before and I said, I want you to think of old school football, right? When the fullback got a ton of targets back in the old days, you know, the old West Coast offense. Ben Johnson's a throwback. He wants to run the ball. He wants to play, you know, have a lot of play action passes. You know, that's kind of what we're going to see here. And, you know, those play action passes, tight ends are cheat codes, man. I mean, those guys can sneak out there and you can scheme them up easily and you can get touches for them. And like I said, if you got a guy that can also now find a soft spot in the zone, that's money.
Yeah, and that's very important, the play action. And if you don't believe Ben Johnson likes to run the ball, you're nutso. Look what he did last year, last couple of seasons, the offense he's developed. And the thing I like about it is that, you know, when he said it's not just a drop in a drop and copy, you know, and inserted this offense from Detroit. We're going to rebuild this thing, but the one thing you do know is he wants to run the ball, and he's going to need a couple backs. He got another running back. He has a couple, but he wants to run the ball, and play action is going to be huge. And when play action works, when you got to have a good running game, you got tight ends are going to be open, like you said. Slot receivers are going to be open. There's going to be a lot more benefit to the pass game when you have a good, solid running game. So I was really happy about that. Speaking of wide receivers, talk to me about Burden. This kid is wow.
You know, that pick really came out of nowhere. I mean, I don't think I expected a receiver. I thought it'd be like a day 3 guy, a traits guy, like a guy that has good speed. I didn't think it'd be a first round talent like Burden slip into the second round, but you know, here we are. The Bears went ahead and got him. You know, another mouth to feed, they say, which is look, that's up to Ben Johnson and his offense. You know, I think with a guy like Luther Burden, he'll be your scheme guy. He's going to be the guy you're going to manufacture touches for. You may see him coming out of the backfield. You may see him lining up and getting some carries that way. You know, you could see DJ Moore in that same role because that's what we saw him do last year a few times. So another weapon for Ben Johnson. You know, again, Roman Dudzey going into year 2, he'll be better. DJ Moore is back. You know, we were thinking that it's going to be a team that's going to miss the productivity of Keenan Allen, but now you got a guy in Burden who's got that kind of upside, and so it's going to be a fun offense if things start clicking. It's going to take a while, like we always say every year. It's going to take a little while to get things going. But man, Loveland, Burden, that's two good assets for this offense.
Really. And guys, we're joined by Lester Wiltfong Jr., the editor-in-chief over at Windy City Gridiron, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. They went defense a little bit. And tell me about Shamar Turner and your thoughts on him, a guy who's very violent, guy who has his anger issues, a guy who has a motor who doesn't stop. He's just a dog. Tell me your thoughts on getting this guy to rotate in this D line, a nice youngster with a lot of upside, good talent. I mean, good floor.
Yeah,
good. His floor isn't low. He's got a nice floor where he begins, and he's got a lot of upside as well.
Here's another guy that kind of, some scouts had a first run grade on. And I kind of read what some of the reports had to say about him. I talked to our guy, Jacob Infante, to get his take on him. And, it seems like he's kind of an asshole, right? Like that's how he plays. He's mad. He's violent. He's nonstop. And look,
what's my sister?
We need, as a fan base, we need some of those guys, right? There's some of those guys who are just going to get after it. That are assholes. I mean, you want in the trenches, you got to have some of those guys. You can't just have a bunch of nice guys. Oh, good play, sir. No, F you. I'm coming.
Oh, you got me. Oh, you blocked me. Good job, buddy.
Right? Yeah. So I think with Turner, he's a guy that can do that. Plus, he has the length where Dennis Allen has always had bigger defensive ends. He likes playing him in a 5-tech role sometimes. So Turner kind of gives you that versatility where he can kind of maybe jump out there and play a little bit and do some defensive end stuff. So he'll be in the mix. He'll be all over that defensive line. And
your guy, Jacob, dude, I saw a tweet that a year and a half ago, he wanted Burden. And he retweeted.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's his guy. He's biased. He went to Missouri.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize he went to Mizzou. Okay.
Yeah. So that's his guy. But, he does like him. He is a big fan of his game. I think he also did compliment to DJ Moore.
Okay, well, see that gives me a different perspective. I thought he just scouted him like, oh my God, this guy's good.
Yeah.
He went. He's a Tiger alum. Okay. But I was like, man, it's a great job, Jay. I'm thinking to myself, great job, Jacob. You know what I mean? Seeing this guy, but it's just your alma mater. My question, the next one is this running back. We ended up getting this guy, Manangai. We got a Manangai.
Is that it? Manangai? Is that how you pronounce it? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Manangai. Now I'll remember. He's the guy. Manangai.
He's the guy. He's the guy. He's the Manangai. This kid out of Rutgers. He's 5'9". This dude is stacked, dude. Yeah. He's put together. Great contact balance.
Yes.
Give me your thoughts on this dude, because he runs pissed off.
Yeah, you talk about guys that you want to be kind of mad. I mean, that's how he runs. That's a good description of him. The contact balance is there. We talk about a guy, Jacob. I think he had a top 150. He was in his I think he was on his top 150. I'm not sure where he came in there, but he had him higher than some other scouts. Part of it is obviously the straight line speed. He's not a burner,
right?
But that's fine. He's quick through the hole. He can run. He can break arm tackles. He has pretty good vision. And he's powerful. I mean, he seeks out contact. The comp I saw some give is Pacheco, the guy that plays for the Chiefs. Obviously, he also went to Rutgers. Kind of has that same angry style.
Mm-hmm.
But you put on the tape, and what do I notice? First thing is he's a good pass blocker.
Man,
you have to pass block as a rookie, or you're not going to get on the field.
Dude, he cleats people.
Yes, this guy's going to be able to play as a rookie. He's not going to have to figure things out because, you can trust him as a pass protector. So, I mean, I'm not sure how many reps he'll get. I'm not sure if he's in where he'll be in the mix there, but he's a guy Ben Johnson can probably trust day one.
Bro, I saw some of the highlights, and the first clip on that highlight, a dude's coming in, he hits him in the shoulder, decleats his ass. I'm like, whoa. Dude, the hair on my arm stood up. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. I'm like, hold on, player. Yeah. I like this kind of party. And he sat in the hole, took on backers. I'm like, you really want to play as a rookie, don't you? You really want to play. Yeah. And it was great to see that we didn't have a running back who was afraid. He ain't scared at all.
Yep.
He attacks. And you talk about, you got a franchise quarterback. One of the things you need is a running back who can pick up blitzers. This dude can't pick up. I wouldn't even go out to say Lester that he likes picking up backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely explodes through the contact. He's not passive in his pass pro, but he's not over aggressive. Like you see a lot of guys in the NFL, like the guys that are kind of still working on the game is they kind of wait in the hole. They either wait and get punished, or they overextend and they lose all balance. This guy's smart. He knows when to explode through the contact. He knows when to absorb it. He's just a good football player. Part of it is he's very experienced. I mean, he's had a lot of reps there at Rutgers, so that kind of helps him. Again, he's not a long-term answer for Chicago. We're not going to see him, still as a Bear in 10 years. But I think in the short term, he's definitely a guy that can have some productivity for Chicago.
Yeah, I hope so. And what do you think that does to the running back room, to Roshan Johnson, to who's that other guy, the guy who had the ACL injury last year that they kept there?
Travis Homer?
No, not Travis Homer. The kid
Ian Wheeler? Yeah.
Wheeler.
Free agent.
Yeah.
I think they're content. I mean, if he comes back healthy, I mean, he has some good speed. So I think they'll be in the mix. I would not be surprised to see them go out and get a veteran running back, just kind of add to the room, because of course Wheeler, you said he's coming off of an injury, undrafted free agent anyway. Roshan Johnson has a role in the NFL. He was okay what he did last year for Chicago. So, worst case scenario, if Rojo's your RB3, RB4 special teamer, occasional short yard guy, that's fine. And then Travis Homer they brought back. I mean, the special teams coach loves him. Everyone thought, oh, he's just a Shane Waldron guy, but he's a core special teamer. Again, we talk about pass blocker. He's another guy. If you have to play Travis Homer, you trust him on third down because he knows how to pass block. So, these guys will have a pretty decent room. Swift will still have a big role, obviously, because they didn't go out and get another burner. So, again, what's Ben Johnson going to do? We saw what he did in Detroit with Swift before. He scaled his touches back, but you look at what he did that season, very, very productive. He had I think his best ever yards per carry. He was pretty good in the receiving game that year with Ben Johnson. So he will find a way to use Swift in this offense.
Except when he dropped the touchdown pass against us in the end zone.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that I want to ask you about. Za Frazier. This guy, kid out of Roadrunner Heaven, University of Texas, San Antonio. Yeah. And the kid is fast and the kid is long.
Yeah.
What did he? Kid's got long ass arms. You're at a 4.3, 6 it was in the 40. Your thoughts on this young man as a corner? Are they trying to send a message to Tyreek Stevenson, or is this just more of a depth piece for the Bears?
I think a little bit of both. I think we heard Bears DB coach Al Harris talk him up a little bit in the presser. He's a guy that he really targeted and thought he can kind of work with him and develop him. Like you said, 6'3", good long arms, that speed, 4.36, 4.39, something like that. A little light, 186, I think he checked in at. So you got to put some bulk on, especially if you're going to play some press man, which seems like Dennis Allen wants to play a little more physical press. So I think with Zay Frazier, he's a guy that, may not be a contributor year one, but he'll be a special teamer for you, probably a gunner on special teams.
Yeah.
And then year two, if Tyreek Stevenson doesn't make a step, if Terrell Smith doesn't take a step, now you got another guy in that room to make an impact for you.
And you can never, ever have too many DBs, too many corners. Yeah. Never.
Yeah.
Never. And shit. You can't. I mean, you get 4.3 speed. You got to find a place for this guy.
Yeah.
And not on the practice squad because someone's going to scoop his ass up. And like you said, even if it's just a gunner, dude, get a 4.3 guy down there to make a tackle. It can flip the field, and that's the important thing. With our phenomenal punter from last year, you get the guy down here, flip the field, good defense, turn the ball over, give our offense short fields. Everything works hand in hand. All three phases to help this offense. So here's the one that a lot of people had an issue with, and me too. I was like, what the hell? This is this guy, Ruben Hippolyte. Someone called him the Gatorade guy because it sounds like you get extra Hippolytes in there. What do you think of this pick? Why do you think they got it? I mean, this kid, they say he's a missile. He ran like a 4.3, 4.4.
Yeah.
As a linebacker. What do you think this is? This more addition to depth and special teams, or what's the issue? Why this guy and not, another position, another guy or another position?
Well, I mean, it's always funny because when the Bears, it's not just Bears fans, all fan bases. When your favorite team takes a guy that's not on your board or not a guy that you've seen mock to the Bears or your favorite team, everyone's like, oh my God, they're really reached for a guy. Well, look, they're not reaching. This is where he was on their board. It could end up being wrong. I mean, that could end up, being an overdraft, but this is where he was on their board. I want to say that the Chiefs had him in for a workout. The Chiefs were for a top 30 visit, so the Chiefs were on him as well. You heard the Bears talk about a few months ago. They want more speed on defense.
Yes.
Okay. Here's a guy that played the middle for Maryland. He had the green dot. He was their play caller. He was a team captain, so he must have those intangibles the Bears like. You talk about the speed, 4.39 between 4.39 and 4.42. Okay, well, that's pretty damn fast for a linebacker. So
yeah, it is.
I think he'll slot in as a backup at the weak side, backup TJ Edwards. He may get some reps here and there. He's got to work on his pass coverage a little bit, but he was a pretty good blitzer in college.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you said speed is there. So worst case scenario, as a rookie 4th round pick, he may be a core special teamer, which, by the way, he played a lot of special teams at Maryland. I think I saw a stat like 500, 600 snaps in college. So he knows how to play specials. He'll be a core special teamer. And then if he can develop some of the other things in his game, which is up to the coaching staff, now maybe he's your TJ Edwards replacement eventually.
How important is that, or how much do you think the Bears value that? All right, this guy was captain, played a green dot, and a lot of special teams snaps. You said 500, 600 snaps. What the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Like, that is a lot. I mean, so he must have been playing special teams as a freshman. I know I was fortunate to do that. I traveled as a freshman that played special teams.
Yeah.
How important is that in their evaluation to have a guy like that? So he's a captain. So you talked about the leadership, the traits, the integrity and the trust that his teammates had in him to vote him captain, the production, the speed, how important is it though? And more importantly, are the special team snaps in evaluating a player? How important do you think it is for the Bears? Because a lot of these guys have a lot of special teams experience.
Well, I think Ben Johnson, by him retaining Richard Hightower, by him wanting to keep things intact on that phase of the game, I think it kind of shows you that Ben Johnson, he has that old school mentality. We think of him as an offensive guru. I mean, he understands the game of football, right? He understands that all three phases have to work together. So I think that's part of the evaluation process. And we've always seen Ryan Poles go after these nice guys, quote unquote nice guys, locker room good guys, good off the field, high character guys, high character traits. And we talk about how you want to have a bunch of assholes on your team. Well, you got to counterbalance that, right? You can't have all a bunch of jerks in your team. You can't have all a bunch of angry, just mad dudes. You got to have some good dudes too to kind of balance out that. So I think a guy like Hippolyte can come in. Again, he's a rookie. He's not going to take on that role right away, but eventually, as he establishes himself in the locker room, some of these leadership and these character traits will kind of come to fruition and help balance out some of those guys that just want to just get after it and just be total assholes on the field.
How concerned are you with the surgery that Colston Loveland had to have? And then as we realized, and we found out the last couple of days that he had that shoulder situation during the season.
Yeah.
So some of his production this year. His production this year was reduced in a couple of things. They had horrible quarterback play. All right, horrible quarterback play. When they won the Natty 2 years ago, he was 600+ yards, 4 or 5 tutties. He had a quarterback in J.J. McCarthy, Chicagoland's very own. But his production is down. That's why people who don't know football are like, well, look at the numbers. Him and Tyler Warren. Like, look, Tyler Warren's first 3 years. Don't even all combined. Don't come close to the numbers he had in the national championship. That Loveland had in the national championship game on that season. So, it's a lot of factors. But how much do you think that's going to hinder him, his shoulder issue, as he's in the process of recovering from it and rehabbing?
Well, I think they said he won't be ready to go for on-field stuff in the summer, but he'll be there getting mental reps. Obviously, you know, they know what he can do. Like you said, he played through that injury at Michigan, so he's a tough kid. Our guy Mason West, he's a doctor of physical therapy. He had a nice tweet about this injury a couple days ago. He's not concerned with type of injury it was. He said it's something that's very common, very easy to well, I'm gonna say easy, but very common to come back from and be 100%. Okay. So I'm not too worried about it. I think he's a tough kid, and he will get through this rehab, and he will attack it like he does everything else. And you know, once he can get on the field, he'll definitely be in the mix.
Well, shit, he played for Harbaugh. Harbaugh don't recruit any punks, man.
Yeah.
You don't recruit any sissy dudes. He's one of those drill sergeants, you know, and he just has a very nice personality and a fun personality. But he's a drill sergeant. He believes in, he coaches football the old school way. And this kid, you got to put up barbed wire fences. This guy is blue collar to the core, you know, and we talked about him playing through that injury. So, yeah, this is a tough kid, and this is why I'm excited to see him, and I hope he's able to come back. And he said it's a 6-month recovery. He said they're 3 months in. So, okay, cool. And I just hope they said he should be ready by training camp, which is dope. And I really can't wait to see what this guy does. I can't wait to see what Ben Johnson does with this guy and how – because if this guy does anything like Laporta, Jesus Christ, like that ball's going to be flying around. You know, not a lot, but it's going to be flying around, and there's going to be a lot of yak with a lot of people. When you got the leader in yak in Burden, you got this guy finding soft spots. You still got DJ Moore. You still got Roma Dunze. This is really, really, really explosive. How excited are you to see how Ben Johnson puts all this together with all those guys on the offensive side of the ball?
I'm a huge Ben Johnson fan. I have been for a few years. I wanted him to be signed by the Bears a couple years ago. I was over the Flus experience for a while. He was always my number one target. I was really hoping they would get him just because he, like I said, he's a throwback, right? We think of him like, oh, he's this mastermind, this trick play dude. You know, that's fine. He does have that in his bag, but you know, he is going to run the ball. I mean, if you look at the Lions, you know, during his time there, they were in the top third of run pass ratio. You know, he wants to run the ball. He understands you want to be physical. He understands you want to get after it in the run game. He understands the play action is such a core concept. Well, whether you can run the ball good or not, he's going to run play action because it's effective, right? The Bears last year were much better in play action passes than they were in just regular passes, and the run game stunk last year. So now you got a guy that understands how to scheme up the run game, how to marry it with the run looks, you know, and he'll give you a bunch of different looks, and it all makes sense for a change. So I think it's going to be fun to kind of watch how he kind of puts the guys together. You know, Rome, DJ, Burden, double tight end sets, you know, Swift out of the backfield, you know, so a lot of weapons, a lot more under center stuff we'll see this year, which kind of bodes well to the play action and to the run game. So it's exciting. I'm excited to see what happens here. You know, we got to see how it all comes together, but, you know, in Ben Johnson, we trust, right? We got the head coach we wanted. We got a quarterback with high upside. You know, if it doesn't happen for the Bears with this regime, it's never going to happen, man.
Dude, don't even say that, dude. It's like they did everything for this guy, revamped the offensive line, weapons out the yin-yang, upgraded defense. The defense could be a top 5 defense. Yeah, if it don't happen, it reminded me of my White Sox when they had all that talent, TA and Eloy and Lubob, and they screwed it up with the manager. And now we're back at it. Let's look at the prospects. Yay, we got great prospects. So if it doesn't happen with these guys, I don't mean this year. I think they're going to make a nice run. Yeah. I was arguing with somebody yesterday at the bar. I'm like, they should compete for the division. He's like, no, wild card. I'm like, who are you scared of? I said, who are you scared of? I said, Minnesota's got a rookie quarterback in JJ. All right, he didn't play last year, so it's his first year starting. Green Bay likes to throw the ball to the other team. I don't know why. Okay, I will take it. And Detroit has a first year, has a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator, and a lot of guys left. The coaching staff. You know, we got Chicagoland's own Antoine Randall. We got, you know, some other people as well. They got a lot of coaching issues. Like, I'm not really worried about another team. Like, oh, that's the team to beat. I think the Bears are a team that can legitimately, I didn't say they will win it. I said the Bears have a great shot to win the NL Central. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be in the mix. I mean, we saw last year there were 3 teams. They're all bunched up at the top there. I think the Vikings may be due for a little bit of regression. The Packers may be due for regression. The Lions are still a pretty good football team. Dan Campbell's an outstanding head football coach. But like you said, they've got some adversity. They have to deal with a couple new coordinators. You know, they lost some players, lost some assistants. You know, they may not win as many games as last year. So we see it all the time, man. Every year, some team goes worst to first.
That's what I said.
This could be the time for the Bears. You know, last year the Bears were not a 5-win team. They should have won more games. Coach Flus choked away a few games there last year. He's choked away a few games a year prior to that. You know, that's who he was as a head coach. You know, look, Ben Johnson has to prove he can manage a team. He has to prove he can manage a clock. But I'm telling you, man, no one's going to be as bad as what we saw with Flus. You know, so it's going to be a step up. You know, I know Vegas has Bears pegged at 8.5, which is one of the bigger jumps over the previous season. So they're expecting at least a 3-game increase. So if you go the over on that, and right now you're at 9 wins, that gets you definitely in the playoff talk in the NFC. Right. They get a couple breaks here and there. Things kind of mesh like they do. Loveland, Burden kind of comes together. The O-line stays healthy. You know, yeah, it's a lot of ifs, but, you know, that's what the offseason's for, right? This is the time for hope. So why not? Why can't the Bears compete for the NFC North?
You channel inner Derrick Rose because, you know, why not? Why not the Bears?
Why not?
Why can't? Yeah. I agree, and I'm excited because I think they're going to. I see the moves they made, and the only question now is can Ben Johnson put it all together? Yeah. All right, he's put together one offense in Detroit, all right, but there's other issues. It's not just calling plays now. He's got to, like you mentioned, the time management. Got to make those calls. 4th and 1. What are we going to do? What's his identity going to be? How's he going to establish that? Because if he establishes the identity that I feel he's going to do, and that's just we're going to punch you in the mouth with our run game, things are going to be a lot easier. And the reputation is going to quickly spread through the NFL, especially with guys like Monangai and DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson. Like we're going to have to do the push tush. We're not going to throw quick screens for 4th and 1. We're going to punch you in the mouth. Stop us if you can. I got 3 tight ends in, right? We're handing the ball off. Stop us from gaining 3 feet if you can. And if that's the mentality that he has and the identity that he creates, man, it's going to be a fun one over on the lakefront. That's freaking sure. Real quick, the defense. How do you feel? They're going to play a little more man.
Yeah.
We still got a little questions about Tyreek Stevenson, but overall, your thoughts on this, on the defense going into this year with the new additions that we have with Dennis Allen. You know, give me your thoughts on how you feel the defense will play this year with the new head coach and the new additions.
Yeah, I think we may see a veteran edge added at some point. I think that's probably the one thing that you're looking at the roster. You're like, well, they got 2 good starters. They're comfortable with. But I mean, right now it's Austin Booker. And look, I love Austin Booker's upside, but you know, can you count on that? On him taking a big step year 2? I'm not quite sure they can. So I think they may go out there and look for a veteran edge, kind of throw in the mix there. A Yannick Ngakoue type, someone like that who's like a camp cut, kind of comes in, you know, gives you what you can. A guy like DeMarcus Walker would have been good in that role. I still am a little puzzled why they let him go, but you know, it is what it is. So bringing a guy in, but yeah, the D line, Dennis Allen he'll generate pressure, right? That's one thing as fans are like, well, how come Flus doesn't blitz more? Why doesn't he run more games up front? Where's the stunts? You know, Flus is more content with, hey, my front 4 has to get after it. You know, we saw him blitz a little bit towards the end there because he had to, but we're going to see Dennis Allen going to run some games. He's going to have some tackle picks where guys can come around and loop and get some plays. He's going to blitz his guys. He's going to blitz his corner. He loves blitzing his nickels, you know. Kyler Gordon, I think, is going to have an outstanding season this year.
Yeah.
You know, I think last year in the Saints' first, 3 or 4 games, they had a nickelback get like 4 sacks. And I know this because he was on my dynasty team. So I understand the value of a nickelback getting sacks here. So it's pretty exciting to see what could happen with Kyler Gordon here. So, the back end, the safeties, you got 2 guys on their final year of the deal. Kevin Bayard played pretty good football last year. He's 31, 32 now. So we'll kind of see if there's a drop off. Brisker, of course, has to come back from the concussions, but if they stay healthy, Dennis Allen has always had top 10 defenses wherever he's gone. So I think it's going to happen again.
Okay. Okay. I think you and I are both excited, Lester. And
excited, yeah.
It's good time, and I know a lot of franchises are, but the things, I don't think that a lot of the things that we're asking are crazy reaches.
No,
that's why I don't. That's why I feel more comfortable. You know, the biggest reach to me, can Ben Johnson run the whole show? You can run an offense. You can run the hell out of an offense. Can you run the whole show? Because if you can run the whole show while running this offense, man, the jump that we're anticipating could be bigger than we think. All right, because of the talent, the revamped O-line, the quarterback, and all the weapons. It could be a much bigger jump than we think, and it'd be a much easier route to the NFC North title. And so we'll see. We'll see.
Real quick, I think one of the things I think about, what I always forget about, but then I think back, is he brought in Declan Doyle as his OC, right? Declan Doyle spent time with Sean Payton, so he understands what an OC has to do to prepare the offense when the head coach is the play caller. So I think that dynamic in the coaching room, the fact that Ben Johnson has a guy in that understands, okay, I have to put these on my plate because I understand the head coach has also big responsibilities. So the fact that he's got a guy in that, Declan Doyle may be in his first year in the OC role, but he's coming in after working with Sean Payton, after seeing how they did it with him, and he's going to implement that in Chicago. I think it's again, we're going back to coaching staff. The coaching staff's a big plus for this team.
That is a phenomenal aspect, Lester, that I didn't think about. That is a phenomenal thing, because I know a very intelligent guy said coaching matters, and to have a guy understand his role. Know your role, jabroni, and shut your mouth. Yeah. He knows his role. He's coming from it from another spot with a proven, a Super Bowl winning coach. Didn't realize how much. I didn't think about that. That's a huge help for Ben Johnson, getting a guy who's done it before underneath a Sean Payton. Wow, I gotta think about that and ponder that more. How much of a benefit that's going to be for him, because I didn't think about that, dude. Thank you so much for opening my eyes, my friend. That's
what I'm here for. That's why I get the big bucks,
Hey, Lester, great stuff as always, man. I appreciate your time, but do me a favor before you go. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, my socials there at Wiltfong JR. You can find everything I write is at Windy City Gridiron, and all my podcast video stuff is at Second City Gridiron.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Bear the freak down, dude. I am fired up. You're going to travel any road games this year?
Probably not. If I do any traveling, I'll probably get to camp again for a few games for a few practices. I'm guessing those tickets are going to go quick this year. So, Bears fans, make sure you get on that queue early, man. Get all those tickets.
Okay, because I was going to say, we're going to Vegas.
Oh, nice.
And probably go to San Francisco again.
Okay.
Since he might be because we get credentials with a buddy of mine. So if I just get the ticket, we can get credentials. Because I was at San Fran this past season, and if we can get one of those types of stadiums, Dennis or Kevin Warren. Woo, Charlie, San Francisco was nice. The press room was nice. They made omelets for us. There was a nice long line. They had 3 people cooking omelets for the media.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, oh, shit. Okay. So, yeah, I'll probably go to San Fran and Vegas. And, for that, that'll be dope. That'll be dope.
Vegas would be great. I haven't been to Vegas in so long, but I used to go every year at least once, and it's a lot of fun. And that stadium, the architect for that stadium, I think they have a bid in for the Bears deal. So similar architecture, similar makeup there. So that should be a nice one to go check out.
Wow, that's dope. That is dope. Hey, great stuff, buddy. We'll talk soon, man. Bear the freak down, baby.
Anytime. Take it easy.
Thanks, Lester. Guys, that's Lester Wiltfong from Windy City Gridiron talking Bears with your boy. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Woo, Charlie. I'm telling you, I'm fired up, and you should be too. I'm fired up, and you should be too. Okay? There's a lot. There's a lot to be excited about. Right? And it's not just, and I know a lot of people are excited right after the draft, like we were excited last year, but we didn't understand, or we didn't realize that that Eberflus was going to have so many brain farts and his coaching incompetence was going to rear its ugly head. Okay? And that's the question I still have here with Ben Johnson. Okay? That's the question I have here. Now, it's a similar situation because you have a defensive coordinator. You had a defensive coordinator, okay, in Eric Washington, who's able to get everything on the plate of the defensive coordinator of the head coach who was calling defensive plays. This year, it's the opposite side of the ball. You have a head coach, and you have an offensive coordinator in Declan, who's going to get everything together for the offensive-minded head coach who's going to be calling the plays. I hope we don't have a repeat of the same thing. That's why I mentioned to Lester, I'm concerned about, can Ben Johnson control the whole thing? It is not easy. Andy Reid makes it look too damn easy. Sean Payton makes it look too damn easy. All right, it is a difficult task. It's a difficult situation to manage because you've only managed the entire or one side of the ball, one phase of the game, the offense. It's 3 phases, which is one of the reasons, as Lester mentioned, probably why he retained Richard Hightower. Okay, there's some continuity there. That's a situation where the Bears had good special teams, and he said, okay, this is a good facet of the game. Why change it? That'll help me not have to worry about that aspect so much, because I got a guy in Richard Hightower who can lock it down, which is why he brought in Dennis Allen. Okay, a guy on the defensive side of the ball who's been a head coach, who's obviously been a defensive coordinator before, and a guy who I think has kind of had his maximum number of chances as a head coach. So I don't see Dennis Allen going anywhere anytime soon. I don't, which is phenomenal. Which means this guy is going to be calling our defense for the foreseeable future, as long as Ben Johnson's there. I think he's out of chances as a head coach. He's been a head coach twice. So him being here is highly likely. Him being here for an extended period of time is highly likely. I'm talking 5 to 7 years. If that's how long Ben Johnson stays or longer, I see Dennis Allen staying there. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. Oh, Rick says, heading out to have lunch at Portillo's for my birthday. That double cheeseburger and chocolate cake going to be fire. Great show as always. FGB. Bear the F down. Oh, today your birthday, Rick? Is today your birthday? Man, happy birthday, Rick. Let me know for sure if today's your birthday, Papa. Man, that'd be dope. Which Portillo's? 45 today. Oh, Steph, you got the MJ return, 45. Return with the 4-5 today, baby. Which Portillo's you going to? Portillo's. You going to the one in Orland, out by me. You're going to the one in Summit on 55th, right there, Archer. You're going to the one on, isn't there one on 95th? Yeah, there's one on 95th. Which Portillo's you going to? Are you out there in the burbs? Either way, we'll post it, let me know. But either way, that's awesome. Congratulations. Oh, the one in Aurora. Okay. Cool, man. Happy birthday, Papa. I appreciate you tuning in on your birthday. Much love. Man, and may you have a phenomenal birthday today. Have a phenomenal birthday. Man, now you make me want to get some Portillo's, bro. Damn. Now I want a double cheeseburger, you son of a gun. double cheeseburger with cheese fries or fries and a cup of cheese. Oh, man. Antmon's checking in. He's like, bear down, James, FGB. Dude, can you listen? That was all I got to say was that the rendition, or should say the what do you call it? What was his name? I am a visionary. I just forgot it. When he introduced that, the Ozzy Trapillo pick, holy cow. That was the best. He got in everybody. Man, people were pissed. People were pissed. Because is that all you got, Detroit or Green Bay? That was awesome. That made my day. Because you know what? I was pissed when, what's his name? Clay Matthews got all stupid. I'll tell you what. That was actually very funny. I was pissed because it was against the Bears, but that was funny. That was really funny. I didn't like it because it was against my Bears, but that was funny as all get out. Where he said, I talked to the president. I was like, okay. Like Eddie Murphy said, that was a good one. You got me. My mouth was open. That was a good one. So when and he came out and did that on stage, Seth Rollins did that, dude. That was awesome. That was awesome. You know what? It was so awesome. We got time? Yes. I think I want to play this because I think it was freaking hilarious. I think it was hilarious. Here we go. Oh, let me get the current comment off. This is hilarious.
Green Bay, Wisconsin! Is that all you got? Come on, you can be louder than that. I know y'all mad because championship gold looks good on the blue and orange. But in all seriousness, Green Bay, we are in the shadow of Lambeau Field. And I love Lambeau Field.
This is awesome.
Because the king of the North, the best quarterback in the NFC North, Caleb Williams, is undefeated at Lambeau Field. And in case y'all aren't familiar with my game, let me remind you, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And I am here to tell you that with the 56th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the greatest franchise in the NFL, the Chicago Bears, select Ozzy Trapillo, tackle from Boston College. Let's burn it down and bear down Chicago.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Hats off to Seth Rollins. Dude, that was great. That was great. And that clip courtesy of ESPN. That was great. Green Bay fans were pissed. You saw the guy in the mariachi outfit, the big hat. You saw the Detroit Lions fans. That was awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, listen, guys, 2 hours has come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Lester Wiltfong Jr., for joining us, talking Bears football, recapping the draft. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a great, great show. I'm excited. Again, I think they could have, and should have taken a safety, but ni modo. It's neither here nor there now. It's just, I just think that's where the one issue that I have with this draft is they should have taken a safety. All right. Well, not the one issue. I think the other issue I have is the Isaac Trapillo when you could have gotten Ariante Ursary. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We can't judge it. We can't judge it now. You know, I'll give Ben Johnson a lot more leeway now because we've seen Poles and his craziness. It's funny. Thank God Ryan Poles traded the third round pick to get back into the second because his third round picks sucked. And his first and second round picks have been pretty good. So for Gervon Dexter to corroborate with that statement, but anymore though, eh? But hey, guys, you have a phenomenal day. It is going to be 80 in the Chicagoland area. Okay, get out there. Get a walk. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Springtime is here. And I'm fired up. Reach out to your peoples. Let your loved ones know you love them because tomorrow is promised to no one. All right? Promised to no one. You know that. I tell you that every day. So reach out, send a text message, send a voice memo, something to some of your people, to your peoples, your close ones, your friends, and set up a time for lunch, for brunch, for dinner, for drinks, for happy hours, whatever. All right? Because life moves pretty fast. If you don't slow down and take a look, don't slow down and look around, you could miss it. All right? So I'm going to replay this at 6 tonight at 12:15. All right? Second City Sports with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown are going to take you on another 2-hour tour of Chicago sports talk. All right. So for everyone here at Chicago, it's Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. You have a phenomenal day. Jeremiah. You have a good day, mijo. I'll stop by and see you guys soon. But from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Your boy is out.